Here's the premise. I have been carrying everything from pens, wearing watches, wearing chains, flashlights, and even different knives. I'm not a watch guy. That's kind of how this story starts. And I started carrying custom knife when I was 16. I'm 26 now. I also started carrying a flashlight, and then I always would sometimes put a chain on if I was going out to an event or something like that. It was very much a kind of dependent upon the event, I would put that on. Bracelets I never really wore, but I started wearing them because I never wore a watch and I wanted something on my wrist. Now, this is kind of where the journey begins of Modara, and it's because I'm not a watch guy yet. But all these items, again, we have watches, we have knives, we have pens, flashlights, chains, and bracelets. We have all these things that we wear. These four here, I would say, have, you know, or actually all of them, they all have a place and a time when you wear them. You might put on a nice watch if you're going out to a nice restaurant. I've also heard the same thing with people with knives. They will choose a different knife to put in their pocket to kind of display the pocket clip and to show off, like, this is a nice event, I'm gonna wear my nice knife. Same with flashlights, same with pens. Like, sometimes I'll be running around with just a standard like Bic pen, something really cheap, and then if I want to go out and have a pen, I'm bringing my Saga from Grimsmo. It's a lot nicer and it looks a lot nicer. So that got me thinking, I've always wanted to make something that's multiple pieces and it's an assembly. This goes back to when I first got into the Instagram machining community. I was into the knife makers, you know, they'd always fascinated me, this idea of making multiple pieces that are machined that go together into a finished product. You could use different materials, you could make different colors using anodizing, different finishes, patterns, stuff like that. That always really fascinated me. And so I started thinking like, oh, could I make a knife? Could I do a pen? And nothing really stuck. I felt like I was always like kind of, not copying, but kind of like going against or going up against someone else's design just with my own spin on it, which I didn't really like. I wanted to do something more original that felt like mine. And so it's taken like over 10 years to get to this point. But I think I finally found it. I think I finally found the multi-piece assembly that I can experiment with materials, patterns, you know, play with different tolerances and fits of an item. And it fits this kind of sphere of things that you wear on nice occasions, things that, you know, you put on and you use on your person, on your, you know, either in your pockets or on your body as a person to display something. And I'm very excited about it. I've been playing with this for probably the past 8 months, 6 to 8 months, and I think I finally have something that I want to attempt to make. And that's what this video series is about. This is going to be the intro to Modarra Mondays. I'm hoping every Monday that I can post a video showing progress to building this brand, building this company. So what is the product, right? Well, I've been wearing it this whole time. It is a bracelet. It's applying the same things that all these items mentioned have, which is it's machined. So let me take this off. I've been wearing this for the past 6 months. It's never come off unless I want it to. Let's see if I can focus this. Fully machined stainless steel. Every piece on here I've machined myself, and I'm really excited about this. And the reason I'm excited about this is, like I said, I've been watching all these people for the past 10 years. You know, they talk about knives, or I watch these knife reviews or flashlight reviews, and people talk like, oh, well, I wear this one with my dress like uniform, or oh, I use this when I go out and I'm in a suit, you know, as far as knives, flashlights, and watches go. And I was like, what's the next thing? Like a bracelet. And this, I'm going to start with bracelets, but I have a lot of plans for chains and other jewelry items, but I've never seen someone do a fully machined bracelet. To be fair, I haven't really looked, but I've never seen someone do something like this, and I'm very excited to show this off. So again, it's really difficult for me to film while I'm working. I like to just get in the flow state and to just do the thing. So I'm gonna try to film as much as possible, post these videos every Monday, showing you guys the process of me turning this prototype into an actual product that I make and sell. There's a lot that goes into this. This prototype took me a while to make, and if I want to make these and sell these, I've got to streamline processes. I've got to figure out new processes, finishing processes. There's little tolerances on this one that aren't perfect that I want to showcase and show you the problem and then fix it. I really want to bring you guys along with me on making this product into something that I can actually sell to you guys. So that's what this video series is going to be about. This is kind of the intro. I think every video will kind of have a topic. I think the first video series next week will be about the links. And then I also have another clip towards the end of this video that'll be going up close, showing you a little bit more about the bracelet. That's the goal, is to bring this high quality machined product. Instead of a pen, instead of a knife, instead of a watch, we have a bracelet. But personally, I've worn bracelets. And kind of further backstory, and I'll explain this more. I'll explain this more throughout the brand building of this, is I would wear these, you know, kind of standard bracelets. I mean, these were like $3 in China, and I had these on for years. Everybody knew me as the guy that had 2 bracelets on my wrist, all my friends and whatnot, and I would get a lot of people being like, oh, those are cool bracelets, blah, blah, blah. And it kind of just went over my head, but I was like, you know what? There's nothing per se cool about these. There's no story behind them. There's no brand behind them. These are mass-produced in China, and they cost literally pennies. There's nothing there. There's no story there. There's no, I'm wearing this bracelet because I believe in these morals of this brand Modara. And obviously, the brief cliff notes of the brand is high quality, machined, you know, tolerances that are probably above what's necessary for a bracelet. And then obviously you're buying the brand, you're buying me as well, right? This is something that I'm going to be making in my garage and selling to you guys. This isn't something that's mass produced where you don't even know who made it, right? And so, and then of course everything's made in Seattle, Washington, where I live. That's just the cliff notes of the brand. There's more to it. All right, so I want to go over kind of the next step for me at this part in building this product line out. Obviously, I just took it off. We're going to start with the main bracelet itself. We have a prototype. I've been wearing this now, I want to say at least 6 months now. Has never come off, has never been uncomfortable or had any issues with me. Which is a huge thing. I mean, I've given this to a few friends while out and about, and they've worn it, no issues with it coming off. So we know the latch mechanism works, which is good. The next step, I guess, well, let's back up. We have 4 components to this. We have the links, the screws, and then the male and female version of the latch. So we got 4 total parts, which I think I've talked about in the first clip. I love having an assembly of some kind here. So we got 4 parts. We've proven that we can make all 4 of them. These are set screws currently in the prototype bracelet. These are 440 set screws. You can see there with the hex heads. I want to make my own, which I ended up doing. This is a brass screw here. 440 flathead. And then we also made a stainless one that you can see here in this last link here. So we've proven that we can make all 4 of the components. The next step is going back, finalizing the design of each of these, like setting up the Fusion files so we have all 4. Because right now, if I'm being honest, I have a bunch of Fusion files. It's kind of all over the place. I want 4 files, the screw, the link, and the 2 clasp pieces, and have like 4 dedicated project files, nice and clean. And so the next step, I think, since we just made the screws, it's probably going back to the links themselves, and we're going to talk about that here in a second. The actual link design, there's a few versions of that we could go with. So I think we're going to start by probably starting over with making links, and then make the clasps, and then make some more screws. And I think then we can make a official version 2 prototype bracelet for myself. I'll then wear that and test it like I have been. But this thing's been on me through working on the CNC with coolant, with, you know, just the sweat on my arms. I don't take it off at all in the shower. Like, it literally stays with me when I sleep and everything. And again, no issues, no rust, no nothing. So I'm very happy with that. So I'm assuming the first real episode will be on the links, and the main part that we're also going to have to tackle is how do we actually finish these links. This was a Scotch Brite wheel to remove the tool marks and kind of polish them. The problem was it definitely did remove some material that I didn't want it to, and started to round some corners and whatnot. So I didn't like that, so we got to figure out a better way to finish the parts. And yeah, and then another thing, this will go probably in the 4th or 5th video when we go back to screws, is I want to use a smaller end mill for this flathead. I feel like there's too much of a screw slot there. I think it could be thinner. So right now that's a 32nd of an inch. I think we can go down to a 64th, and it'll make a smaller slot and it'll look better. So that's something for later. But again, we've proven that we can make the product. Now it's time to go back, finalize the design of all 4 components, finalize the process and fixtures to make those components. Finishing is going to be a big part of this project, is figuring out the best way to finish all of these components. Assembly fixtures I already have in mind, and then laser engraving and marking these parts, because I want to go full bore and mark every single one of these parts. I think the links, I'm probably going to, if we use this enlarged 3D print version, I think the links we're going to engrave on the inside here. That way you can't actually see it per se in operation or in use as a bracelet, but they are marked. The screws, I want to make a fixture. So here's the screw itself, right? I want to make a fixture to laser engrave the bottom side with just like an M for Modara. I think that would be really cool. And then the clasps, I don't know if I've ever shown this up close, which will be kind of cool. I already have these laser engraved. It's funny, I actually did this really early on. So we have Seattle, we have an M. This is all subject to change, and then we have Modara there. So again, we'll go into the links. You can see there's a few different versions of links here, but that'll be for another video. But I just wanted to kind of go over kind of the roadmap. We have to just go through, streamline some things, but I'm very excited about this. It's going to teach me a lot about finishing, I feel like. Working with this 303 stainless hasn't been too difficult. It's definitely steel. I mean, it's not brass or aluminum, that's for sure. So it definitely cuts differently. Your speeds and feeds are definitely a lot different. This will also teach me about a little bit of production, fixturing and work holding, which I'm excited about as well. And then some lasering fixtures and stuff like that. I haven't really done, like, I would like to be able to put all of these parts and laser one whole bracelet worth of parts at once. I think that would be really cool. So yeah, the core product is going to be the bracelet. The goal is to make this series just about me going through prototyping, all the decision making, making this the best product that I can, and then probably coming out with like a founder series of some kind, making like 50 or however many we decide as the first batch, and then from there on out, after that, it would be like the full batch. And I don't know the name of this bracelet design yet. I have a few ideas, but we're a little bit far off from that. So right now, I think I'm going to leave it at that. I think that's a good introduction to kind of what I'm up against and what I'm going to be working on, but I'm very excited. It's a fun project, so I'm excited to bring you guys along with me. So without further ado, hope you guys enjoy, and I'll see you guys next Monday for Modarra Monday. So I definitely feel like I've been ranting, but I have no other way to put this information out other than to just start saying it. So I think the next few videos will be a little bit more clear about what this series is about, going in depth about, like I said, there's kind of different parts of this. There's the links, there's the clasp, and then there's the screws, all of which we're going to be making here on my VF2. It's not the most optimal machine for some of these parts, especially the screws, but I don't have a Swiss lathe yet, and so maybe we can build this to a point where I can get the proper machines to make even better products. But I'm very excited because this will allow me to experiment with different materials. I think having alternating link materials like you could do bronze, stainless, or titanium, or you could probably even throw in some of the softer metals like brass and copper. And then the screws have been a challenge. Like I said, I've made every single one of these parts. Some are harder than others, so we'll be going into that as well. But I just wanted to get this off my chest and to start this journey. I've been putting off doing this for a while, strictly based off of fear of this not being a perfect video, and I got tired of that, so here we are. It's not going to be perfect, it's going to be raw, but again, that's what you're buying. You're buying me in my garage, literally making these, so let's do it. Let's just go for it, and I appreciate you guys, and make sure you guys follow the Instagram, follow the YouTube. This will be posted on my personal YouTube, and then yeah, there'll be the Instagram. Eventually there'll be a website, stuff like that. But that's the goal, that's the idea, that's the vision. I hope you guys see it. I hope you guys like the idea. All these machinists out there carrying machine knives and custom pens and custom watches. Now you can add custom bracelets to your other wrist, which I'm very excited to see some people start to have. So guys, thank you so much. All right, I'm done ranting. Next video, next Monday.